Um, those are the. I think I only lost 2 so far. I think those are the only. Yeah. Well, I did 2 with hearts. Um. All right. Okay. Hey guys, so we are trimming today. I'm gonna trim everything that I threw yesterday. I was supposed to have a game tonight, but it got canceled. So it is allowing me to get some work done. Can I have that? Yep. Thank you. I don't know if Gary's actually hanging out with me or not tonight, but I am gonna ask him to carry some stuff up for me to the garage at some point. Cool. Okay. Either way. Cool. There's that box that I already filled. There's some pieces over there that are, yep, and then there's that other box down there. Yep. I got lots done yesterday. Well, I can give you my headset and you can talk while I throw. Because nobody really wants to hear me. I just talk about the same things over and over again, unless I'm chatting with people. I can switch my mic over to a camera. That's true. So I'm just centering this. I'm not doing much trimming to the bottom of these. I have a bucket here from when I have 2 buckets here from when I was throwing. And nope, that won't be a problem. Not for those. Gary is running the kiln with trees and pigs in it. And because the pieces he's taking up are already so dry, it won't be an issue. But the ones that I do tonight will stay down here till tomorrow. And they can have a day of drying down here with the dehumidifier on with a plastic bag over them. Yeah, all the greenware that was taking up table space is how dare it take up my table space. No, that's been trimmed for a while. I can I can just go up. Um, yep. Nope. It's better the other way so that the bottom dries as fast as the rim. I don't know why I have those marks. Okay. Well, this is definitely the wobbly bit over here. So we're going to trim that, but then I think that is where we're going to trim our hook. So these are the pieces that I threw yesterday. We're going to do a standard hook with this one. Come on now. Okay. So this one's a little wibbly, so I'm going to put this back on the bat. I've lost my scraper. There it is. Okay, that's dirty. All right, we're just going to leave this to the side. I will scrape that off later. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna let this sit like this for a little bit. And then once these sides firm up a little bit, then I'm gonna flip it over so that the bottom dries out more. My husband just made me a ton of flat space over here, so I'm going to utilize it. So I can fit 3 pieces on that shelf. So that's what I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with the pieces right here next to me. And I'm going to clean off. Just dumped all my dust onto it. I follow a woman on Twitch who has the best ceramic keyboard ever. All right. Oh, and you know what? This is not day 5. Let's fix this. Day 8. Day 8. Update. Okay. All channels will be updated. All right. Well, hopefully. Hopefully. All right. This might have already popped off. Nope. Okay. Okay. All right. So we're going to need some friction with this one. So we're going to take that. We're going to take that. I'm thinking Tuesday I'll have some extra time down here because I'm not doing anything else on Tuesday or Wednesday. Oh, I guess Tuesday morning. But anyway, I should have some extra time on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week coming. So don't fly away. Okay. So I should be able to, I'm going to finish mixing up my random reclaim. Well, the reclaim that I already started, I'm going to continue that tonight. And then, come on. I'm going to put my hands into that buff reclaim and mix that up just with my hands and whatnot and see how it looks. If that looks pretty good, I'm going to smear that on a board tonight. If I think there's dry bits in there, which I think there's dry bits in there, then I will let those soak in overnight. And I will put it on the board tomorrow night. But the goal is to let all the really wet stuff just kind of incorporate the dry stuff that's on top. But I have so much buff reclaim and I have so much random reclaim from this challenge that I want to get it on boards so that I have room for it all. With my first 3 sales from this challenge, I'm going to buy myself a diamond core. First 6 sales. I'm going to buy myself a diamond core set of trimming tools. Because this is not even remotely sharp. And I would love a nice set. And originally I said I wasn't going to spend the money on it, but after working with this on so many yarn bowls, I'm thinking I'm willing to spend the money now. Oh, my music stopped. Okay. So anything that goes into this wheel is going to be put into the random reclaim, and anything that I collect off of here and put into that bucket is going straight into the buff. Which is fine because I like to throw with both. So it doesn't really matter to me which one they go in. And then anything off the floor is also going in the random pile. And once I reclaim and I've thrown all 55 of my 4-pound and all 55 of my 6-pound, then I'm going to take the reclaim that I have and I'm going to make a bunch of 3-pound, and I'm going to finish off the challenge with a bunch of 3-pounders. I'm assuming it'll be, I don't know, maybe 10 of them. All right, so this is pretty dry. Yeah, this looks to be the wettest. So we're going to do this nice and gentle like. I'm going to do it portion by portion. I do want to do something in this shape with a votive holder with a bunch of cutouts. So I'm excited to get to start painting all of these. I have so many really cool glazes. My goal is that no two of these are going to look alike. Even if they have like the same glaze, then I'm going to choose completely different looking bowls. For the same glaze. One that I'm really excited about is called root beer. And I'm excited to see what that looks like on these. I did a bunch to test some of the glazes and whatnot, and I don't like the oh, what is it called? I can't think of what it's called now. But the matte glazes. I don't like the matte ones because I feel like they have a chance of pulling at the yarn. So I'm only going with the really shiny, glossy glazes. So this is the one from yesterday that I sprayed down really well and then wrapped up tight to let it sit for a day and kind of reabsorb that water. Still pretty dry in most areas. But yeah, you know that this one is one of the older ones because it's the Umbria slip on the outside with the different colors on the inside. So unfortunately with this one, I am going to have to get a really good trim on it to get all that slip off of there. Camera's right off of there. So we are going to see how we do and if this one survives. You can tell where I sprayed and where it didn't quite soak in. We're going to see how this one goes. It also doesn't look to have a very deep bottom. This poor bowl might not have meant to be. All right, let's see how we get here. You can see the white starting to appear. All right. With this one, I'm just trying really hard to get a layer of slip off the outside. because that's what's going to show those marbled colors underneath. Okay. Oh, I just dumped that in the wrong bucket. Well, that is now a random bucket instead of my buff bucket. Lay sigh. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. I was just excited to see what the inside of it looked like, which I do have to say, that looks pretty cool. All right. So this is a little bit wibbly of a bowl here. It sticks out on this side. So we're gonna put that there. All right, now let's continue to get the slip off of here. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of throwing with the Claire white. So when I mixed it with the Umbria, it became a little better, but it's still, I don't know, I just wasn't a fan. So now that I'm doing a reclaim of all of them and it's all kind of going into one clay body, it does throw much nicer. And I'll get it all wedged up and it'll be fine. So I'm putting pressure down with my right hand so that this doesn't fly out of the grip as I'm trimming, because this is not a sharp tool and there's a lot of dragging. I don't want to go too deep, especially in that center, because I do think that's pretty thin. I can't really, the knock test is failing me. Just heard my phone da-ding da-ding. So let's see. Let's see what I got. Yeah, I'm super curious as to how these are going to come out of the kiln. I'm also interested to see how they're going to take glaze. I'm going to do Some of these I'm just going to do with a clear gloss so that we get the pretty marbling. Others I'm going to do with a semi-translucent so that it shows the difference in the dark versus the light underneath. Okay. I slept wrong last night and now my arm keeps going, or my hand keeps going to sleep. All right, so this is coming out this way, so I want to do my cut over here. Because this is so dry, I'm needing to actually I don't know what you would call this. It's not really carving. Dig it out. I don't know. So I get to babysit tomorrow. So I'll be doing that in the morning. It's my friend's birthday week, so she's going away for the week, so I don't have anyone to go food shopping with. So I'm going to go with my husband to the dump to drop off another friend's stuff from his mother's house. And then we'll go food shopping together. But because we're going away, we don't have much to buy. We are very thankful to have friends who stay at our house for us and take care of the animals and whatnot. And we were thinking we were going to get an order delivered before we left. But I think they wanted to wait on delivery. So, excuse me. So I think I'm just down to working on this challenge and getting a bunch of pigs painted and trees ready for the next order. Orders are starting to come in pretty steadily for the year. So gotta start working on all that. And all right, and clean up the rest of this with a sponge when it's dry. Because we want to make sure that there's nothing that your yarn can get caught on. Still can't believe I dumped that into the wrong bucket. I sigh. It's a very me thing to do. Okay. Oh, are these done already? Yeah, okay. Oh, excuse me. So those could have actually gone upstairs too. Okay. Oh, yeah. And those could have gone upstairs. Man, I did so much the other day. Okay. I think I'm going to fill. I think I'll fill this board next, and then I'll take this board over there and take it out of the way. All right, so this is where I need to cut my. Guys, my hand keeps falling asleep. This sucks. All right. This is obviously rather dry since it just took itself off the bat. Hmm. All right. So this is buff clay that I used the Umbria slip-on to throw with. So I don't want to do much trimming on this because I really do want to see what that kind of looks like when it's done. So we're going to put that dent there so that these things don't squeeze on the dent itself. Okay. I really need oh, looky there. So I need like a gallon of water. All right, that should give me a nice line of where the dark brown slip was versus the brown buff. All right. Can I get I'm going to have to look at this again. This may not work. I hope it does because I really am excited for this piece. But I'm just taking some really thick clay here and smoothing out the bottom of this. because where it attached itself to the wheel, it had a pretty big air bubble there. And if you trim the bottom a lot, then it's fine. I don't tend to do that. So we're going to see how this looks. I'm going to seal it up really, really well and look at it again tomorrow. And then I should just be able to trim the bottom of this. It should be fine. We'll find out tomorrow. All right. Let's put this on a nice flat bat. Because I do want to cut where that flat piece was. That's where I'm going to put the hook on this one. I don't know what kind of hook I want. All right. Okay. I feel like this music should belongs on like the Great British Baking Show or something. Or The Sims. Okay. Okay. All right, and that will be done until we sponge it off. Well, no, that's a lie. I'm going to redo the bottom of this one. All right, so we are going to put plastic nice and tight on this one. We're going to let the bottom really reabsorb with the rest of the clay. And I'll take that out again tomorrow. See how that did. Okay. So I kind of knew this going into it because I bagged them up last night. A lot of these have dents from the bags. Um, okay. That was not a flat cut. Okay. All right, but I want that dent not pushed against one of these things. So we're going to do it like that. So typically when I'm trimming, I want to follow the inner curve of the bowl. I don't do that with yarn bowls because I want them to be bottom heavy. I want them to have substance so that when you pull on your yarn, you're not yanking your yarn bowl off the table. When the kitty cat yanks your yarn, he's not knocking your bowl and yarn and everything off the table. So I actually want my yarn bowls to be bottom heavy, which means they are more prone to cracking. Um, and you have to be careful putting them in the kiln because they might not be dry all the way. Because they don't dry as fast as normal things uh, because they are not even. So We try to give these guys more than enough time to dry. And then we're going to do a slow fire to bisque. And at about 400 degrees, 300 degrees, I'll make sure there's no steam coming out of the vents before I take it up higher. So I will keep the vents open for the first couple of 100 degrees, check them with mirrors. And then once I feel like there's no more steam coming out, everything's good, we don't have any problems, then I will ignore it until it gets up to about 1900 degrees. I think it's 1868 or something like that. But when we bisque to 04. And I can actually put these end trees in at the same time, even though one is ceramic and low fire and one is stoneware and mid fire. We can put them in the same bisque kiln because they both bisque to 04. All right. I was going to say, I can't even find that dent now, but it's right there. So that's where we're going to cut out. Forgot to order myself left-handed. I just found out from one of my friends that they make left-handed X-Acto knives. I'm going to order myself a bunch of them. Because if you are left-handed and you are working with an X-Acto knife, because it uses a screw to keep the blade in, as you are working with the X-Acto knife, you're pulling against that screw in the wrong direction, and instead of the blade tightening, the blade keeps going loose. So I've been bitching because I'm like, I wish X-Acto knives made left-handed things, and they do. Okay. Where are you going? I guess you can go up here. I didn't realize that there was another, like, 10 bowls for Gary to take upstairs. So maybe he'll be amazing and meander back down again at some point. All right, guys, I gotta change this music. I really don't want the funky again, but I need something a little bit more upbeat there. Yeah. I need to figure out how people are getting away with listening to real music and not getting hit with copyright problems. 'Cause that's like the first thing that just keeps happening to me is every time I put on some real music, YouTube is like, no, no, no. And I'm like, cool, but which I get, but that means I can't even like listen to a radio station in the background. So if any of you guys are YouTubers out there and you feel like letting me in on your secret of how to listen to a radio station while live, that would be awesome. So I was super disappointed that our game was canceled tonight. And then I realized that I've done enough prep work for probably the next 2 sessions, which will take us through the challenge. So in theory, I don't have to do any more prep work for this game while I'm doing this challenge, which is kind of cool. You know what, let's just take this down. Yeah. That game will probably be over in, I don't know, August or September, probably August, before my fall shows start. And that's the one that I don't think I'm going to pick up again next year. I have 2 people leaving the campaign. Yeah, I don't think my Sunday night campaign is gonna keep going, which is fine. I have so many campaigns. I want to get back to what I do, what I think I do best with campaigns, with really getting people's backstories into it and prep for 2 months worth of games and then let my mouth talk before my brain really puts thought to stuff. And by the time we're done with session, my 2 months of prep work is out the window because I've completely changed 100 different plots and I have to start over again. Because I'm riffing off the players. But I think that, I don't know, I just think that's what I do best. Like I over prep and then I completely just negate all of my prep work. But I think, I don't know if it's a better player experience. I think it is because it brings their characters into it more. And a lot of the time I sorry, I 100% lost my train of thought there. Yeah, a lot of the times I kind of sit back and listen to what they're talking about and sort of prepping extra stuff in the background. And here's the thing. Come at me. I use Midjourney. I know that there's better ones out there that pay artists and whatnot. I need to get signed up with them currently. I have a thing with Midjourney that I need to cancel, and I need to get with a better one. But I don't know why I really like this one. Train of thought. Yeah, I really enjoy just riffing off of the players with NPC interactions. And I think that is where I do my best work as a DM. Okay, so I'm going to do more of that. I know one of my friends wants me to start up another Magellan campaign, but I'm already running 2 right now. So I think I'm just going to let my Sunday night go. And maybe take that as me time. I don't actually, well, I can't say that I don't have any. I do have Wednesday nights while Gary is running AD&D for some me time. And but I usually use it, working. Because I own my own business, which means if I'm not actively with other people, I am working. That's really high. Okay. You know, I feel like I could take this out of my ear because I feel like whew, okay. All right. That's nicer. Sometimes there's just too many noises. And I already have the dehumidifier running. And I know I need something in the background, especially for when I'm not talking and I'm just kind of paying attention to my clay. But it's the same music over and over again. I need something different, guys. Which brings me back to I really need to figure out how to listen to a radio station while I'm on YouTube because YouTube keeps hitting me with copyright infringement and I obviously see other people do it. And I'm not getting paid for my videos, so it's not like they can like take away my money or anything, but like they just tank the volume or they just take it down. We also, weirdly, randomly, I don't even know why I'm bringing this up. We got new coffee from Amazon today, which I am super excited to try out. Because our household drinks a whole lot of coffee. And if this ends up being good coffee, then I can have them deliver like 4 32-ounce things of coffee to the house in our subscribe and save. All right. Hate trimming bottoms. I need a sharper tool, guys. Need. All right. First 6 sales. I'm buying myself a set of diamond core tools. They're supposed to be like the best of the best and so super sharp, and you have to be careful about cutting yourself and blah, 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 blah. All right. So, all right, I know it's uneven. That's okay. I will fix it on the grinder later. Right now, let's get a hook in here. I do want to do another couple of like heart ones. I did one that accidentally looked like a musical note. And then a bunch of people are like, do cats. I'm like, okay. And so I may do those. Okay. I think, oh, that one too up there probably. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I have 7 more to do. So I hope you can see this. There's some really cool from when I was throwing my finger marks are in here. I'm going to keep those. I don't always, but when I glaze it, I'm going to glaze it with something where the glaze will break on each of those ripples. So yeah, I'm going to keep that one. I'm going to keep those in there. I'm not going to take them out. So this is hard. Might just be popping off here. Just real gently going all the way around. Okay. This I wired off when I threw it. I should do that with probably all of them. So many of them are really wet and wibbly that I don't want to. But if I take a heat gun to it, then they'll be fine. All right, so you see all these finger marks? I want to keep all of those in so that the glaze will break on all of those lines. So I want to be very intentional about where I trim. All right, so we're going to do that. All right. And then I'm going to do another line in here. All right. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to flip that over. I feel like a lightning bolt could be cool, but then there's no like hook to come up with. Let's do another heart. I only got one heart out so far. Let's do another heart. Maybe I got two. I don't know. All right, we're gonna go down. And then we're gonna go down. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Come on. Okay. Like, and originally I was thinking that like these needed to be like red or pink or something cutesy. Now I'm just like, what if I did some kind of like red and black or hot pink and black? I don't know. If you have an idea of what color you would like to see these, shoot a comment. And let me know. Oh, I need to get back to my comments. Boop. All right. Ah, okay. All right. All right, another heart bowl done. So funny, you can see specifically how we go from like normal thickness down to that thicker, heavier bottom for the yarn bowls. Okay. We have new people coming to our Cleveland and Harrisburg shows this year. Our friend Mike, who normally does it with us, is going to be in charge of the mall while we're away. So that is a big opportunity for him to do them all. Okay. I was kind of thinking about jumping into a chat room, but I think I just kind of want to be alone with my thoughts tonight. Okay. Ooh, it all came out at once. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, I definitely want to keep, I don't want to get rid of that. Um, okay. Okay. You're going to come off. Okay. I should put this one back on the thing and actually let it run, but that's okay. I'm so tired today. We went and we helped a friend load our van with a bunch of stuff from the dump for the dump, and it was a nothing job, but I woke up this morning and I just couldn't get out of bed. I ran later than I used to, but it wasn't that late. It was only like 11 or 11:30. I started a combat when I shouldn't have. I should have waited till the next time we played, but I didn't because I thought the combat was gonna be super short because really the guys are just gonna run away. I need to get a new cutter. Maybe I need to get a new cutter before the end of this challenge. Yeah, I'm gonna run all of these over the grinder at the end of the day when they're dry. Okay, so originally I wanted all of that detail, but I'm thinking because this thing is so wibbly. My wrist is starting to hurt, which is why I am holding it like I am. All right. Okay. All right, we're going to put you there. We're going to put you there. Now I have room for some more bowls. Oh, we'll put you down there for a second. We'll take you down. We're going to move you up. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah, I didn't think about it. I guess muting my thing also muted like Discord. And all of my phone notifications. It just muted everything, which is fine. But I'm also wondering why I'm not getting anything. Happy why. 100% my fault. So I'm really struggling with the concept of canceling my Sunday game next year. And it's because I'm a people pleaser. And I don't want to disappoint people in getting rid of the game. And I don't know. By the end of December, I may miss it. And I may want it back again. But right now, I just have too many, and I need to decide the ones that I'm really invested in versus the ones that I'm not. And that one I'm just not. So I said something about me not getting a notification in a while. And then all of a sudden my phone's just like ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-ding. Ba-ding, 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 ba-ding. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Oh, it's just... Okay. Take that out. Okay. Okay. All right. So this has to come down. I think I only have 4 left. Okay. Yep, 4 left for today. And then I will squish up that reclaim. And get that ready for 3-pound bowls when it comes time. I'm absolutely doing those last. Oh, I wonder if a mermaid's tail would be cool. All right, on the next one, I'm going to do a mermaid's tail. Is this coming off? No, okay. I was also thinking about doing like a super curly one. It'd be really fragile though. Whew. Okay. Swirl. Let's get this thing off the bat. Nope. Okay. It's already almost 9 o'clock. Really want to hit this. It's not. Yeah, it's not really. Did I knock this off the bat? No. Okay. Whee! You right into the wet. Aha. Yeah, I'm so tired. I'm hoping to get a very good night's sleep tonight. I'm thinking Advil PM induced nap time. Um, Hi. Oh, I would love a water. I was just saying how I'm not drinking enough water. Um, yeah. That's good. Okay. Mm-hmm. All you can do is ask. Oh, do they? Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. Speak. I didn't tighten it properly. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
It's because it is. Like, what was Pathfinder, where they probably would be even weaker going by the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Pathfinder, levels lower than you. So, like, a party of four first level characters in Pathfinder second edition could be so two first level creatures or four creature negatives. Compared to DC 20, where a party of four fifth level characters should be able to handle four first level monsters. I can see the problem. The problem is that I there needs to seriously increase the level of the monsters that people can create, or anyway, it doesn't convert nearly as nicely as I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like trimming or throwing?
Growing. Yeah. I need a thick dowling with my spinner on top.
The problem is that I can't just make every channel be on the level that they should be facing, because some are supposed to be easier.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but and then comes the other aspect of it that I can scale the threats to be party appropriate rather than keeping them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they should have some easy and some difficult.
Yeah, they can have some difficult, but the thing is that by DC 20's, I'm looking at the encounters, right? And the Mitchwits are 1/8 challenge rating in 5th edition, which means they're like novice level creatures. And I have to assume two novice level creatures equal one level 0 creature, which equals two level 0 creatures equal one level 1 creature. I could be wrong on that. There's no guidance. But um, if four Mitchwits equals a creature 1, and I can make them stronger, I can make them in the room with three Mitchwits. If they're creature 1, but the party has 16 levels between them because they're level 4. So his guidance for the encounter building is um, monster levels equal to player levels in modern. Monsters, uh, like the hard challenge would be player's level, right? And monsters, the level is equal to the party plus one character's level. So if the players are level 4, and there's four of them, then 16 is moderate, 20 would be hard, and then severe would be, or deadly would be plus 2. So I guess what I would need to do is to figure out what difficulty it's supposed to be, and then um, make the creatures so that they are appropriate for that. But it's almost like every encounter would be different then. So um, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So after I was done, well, and then so another thing that I did was to look at what would be party appropriate for level 4, right? Which is floor 4. I go to floor 4 of Abomination Vaults, and I'm looking at the threats. And like a severe challenge for four level 4 characters is a creature 6 and two creature 2. So one creature that's two levels higher than the party, two creatures that are two levels lower than the party is a severe encounter in Pathfinder. And the reason is because that creature 6, that's only two levels higher than the party, is such a threat in comparison to the DC 20 characters, or the DC 20 monsters. The DC 20 monsters are not that much, in fact, they're not supposed to be more powerful than the players if they're on level. And even two levels higher is not like the drastic. Like that level 6 creature could be a solo moderate encounter on its own in Pathfinder, where, you know, to have a solo creature against so I mean, like, it's amazing, it's mind-blowing when you put this all into perspective, right? In Pathfinder, a level 6 creature against a level 4 party is a moderate encounter. If you want a moderate encounter against a DC 20 level 4 party, you need a creature 16. You need 16 levels worth of threat, which means you could have a couple level 4 enemies, or if it was going to be a solo, I mean, you could do a level 4 legendary monster. That's it. And that would only be a moderate threat. So, I don't know. I don't know. There's one room on level 4 that has a creature 7, and that creature 7 is a severe threat in Pathfinder. But in DC 20, that creature 7 is a joke against a fourth level party. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't know. It's uh it's tough. It's tough to figure out like what the correct balance is because, and that's the thing that I noticed in running Troubles in Otari converted to DC 20 versus 5th edition. See, 5th edition will throw a ton of enemies at you. Pathfinder won't typically throw a ton of enemies at you. They throw a few enemies that really hold their own, but you can't just one to one, uh, you know, you can't one to one swap it. It doesn't work. Um, Which is probably why the fifth edition version of Abomination Vaults changed some things. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, I should probably look at some of those rooms in on level 4 in the book because I didn't do that. I only looked at the Pathfinder version. But I wonder what the threat levels are in fifth edition because in 5e they'll throw more enemies at you. And I think back to that one room where they had that one soulbound doll, which in Pathfinder is a solo encounter because he's two levels higher than the party. But see, then there's the thing too, right? Like in Pathfinder, that soulbound doll is a third level creature. But then in fifth edition, I think they made the doll half a challenge rating and threw in a flying sword. I don't really understand why, unless it's the action economy. Otherwise, I don't know why they did that. I don't know. I'm confused. So anyway, I also looked at Monday night and I adjusted the Psi Commander and the Psi Brawler to be in line with Dungeon Coach's PDAD and damage. So they both lost some PDAD, but my goodness, did their damage increase. So, they'll be a different kind of threat. I feel like I would be absolutely terrible at what you're doing right now. I don't know. It looks hard, like to get that to cut at the right shape, right angle. So the other thing that I did was to run a solo test of my game. I was logged into voice the whole time. Nobody showed up, so that was while I was also working on the Abomination Vaults. But I ended up um, then switching to do a test play of my game, and I used Abomination Vaults as a baseline, and I ran it Theater of the Mind. Um, and I have to say, it worked well.